Tonight, Galamsey takes center stage after fatal helicopter crash as Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey demands government action, including immediate interdiction and dismissal of MMDCEs and police commanders in all illegal mining affected districts.
Let's make this count. Major Muhammad lost his life. Let's not make Omane and the 8 others. Muchala, no, not at all.
And there's Galamsey happening in your place. You are either incompetent or you are complicit, or both.
We have details as university lecturers issues final warning to President Mahama to implement the Anti-Galamsey Pact or phase a nationwide shutdown of the education system.
If it requires that we close the system to get things done before we open up, we will do that.
We have details of these stories here on Top Story. And Top Story, as always, is brought to you by Telecel, connecting energies and shared pension trust into the future with you. Now, the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey is amplifying its demands for government action to combat illegal mining, sparked by the recent tragic helicopter crash that claimed 8 lives, including 2 ministers. Now, the coalition is calling for 1, immediate interdiction and dismissal of MMDCEs and police commanders in Galamsey affected district. 2, known politicians allegedly involved in illegal mining should be swiftly arrested and prosecuted by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO. They also want the revocation of LI 2162. The coalition demands the revocation of this legislative instrument, which they believe undermines the anti-Galamsey effort. For they want a state of emergency to be declared in critical illegal mining areas to facilitate military deployment and asset freezes. And 5, they want foreign nationals involved in illegal mining to be prosecuted and their activities halted. Now, let's now hear from the convener for the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, Dr. Engineer Kenneth Ashibe, on these demands.
What is going to become of the life of these children? All these people, 8 widows, all of a sudden, plus, my brother, His Excellency the President, I believe, has been hit.
I would be asking His Excellency the President that anywhere you have Galamsey, you should immediately dismiss the MCE and the DCE and the police commanders who are in those communities, the national security people who are in those communities. After you've dismissed them, immediately you need to interdict them and start investigating them for complicity. You dismiss them for incompetence, and then you start investigating them for complicity. Because if you're an MCE, DCE, you are the chairman of the national, district or municipal security committee, and you are also the chairperson of the mining committee, and there's Galamsey happening in your place, you are either incompetent or you are complicit, or both. And in both ways, you are not a good representative. So if the president says that one of the KPIs that he's given to the police, to the DC's MC, then we should start seeing that being called out. Yeah. Immediately. We should start seeing that being called out. It's the elephant in the room. The politically exposed person, Senor will draw in the business-connected people, these criminals. And we're not dealing with them, we're dealing with them with kid gloves. And so that's what we need. We want to see the president do. And so the head of EOCO, I'm not too sure why is it that when he came to Wontumi, there was a show of it, and he was called. Why is it that we've not seen Yamin and the third deputy vice president of the NDC also arrested and the investigations being carried out? There's several, these police people, the national security people who went there, their faces are on camera. Why is it that we're not seeing anything about it? And some of them, we have petitions against them, like the NDC MP for Awen, who his traditional authority says he's complicit in it.
Now, speaking on PM Express, convener for One Ghana Movement, Senyor Hosi, Deputy Director of Arocha Ghana, Daryl Bosu, and UTAG President, Professor Mahmoud Akudugu, all united in a call for government to use the tragedy to fight illegal mining head on in honor of the 8th. Take a listen to them.
What is going to become of the life of these children? All these people, 8 widows, all of a sudden, plus, my brother, His Excellency the President, I believe, has been hit more than anybody. His relationship with the likes of Omani and Co. For me, he has lost a heartbeat. It is personal to him. That's why when he says the loss is personal to him, he meant it in every way. The man is not stable. He can't be stable because what has happened is getting home. So if there's no awakening at all that ever existed, as for this one, it's an awakening for everybody. Let's make this count. Major Muhammad lost his life. Let's not make Omane and the 8 others. Muchala, no, not at all.
So there's no way we can sit down and ignore this sacrifice.
Yeah.
We cannot.
Yeah.
It's something we need to really take seriously. If we're thinking of just going to let this responsible cooperative mining just go on as just like the community mining was, then this should be the turning point. Nothing should be the same ever again.
For us in academia, we believe that there is no any better opportune time to get this done than now because of the fact that everybody agrees that the loss of these 8 people must not go in vain.
Now, you will recall that prior to the election 2024, the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey got presidential candidates to sign to a pact in commitment to the fight. The University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, a month ago gave government 90 days to begin full implementation of their demands. UTAG President Professor Mamudu Akudugu vows they will, quote unquote, shut down the tertiary educational system if the pact is not implemented and nothing is done to honor the 8 fallen heroes.
If this doesn't trigger the kind of decisive action that is required to get us to the promised land, as usual, UTAG will definitely advise itself. And if it requires that we close the system to get things done before we open up, we will do that.
So this is still Top Story, always brought to you by Telecel Connecting Energies and also by Shield Pension Trust, into the future with you. Now let's get more insights in all of this discussion and by bringing in those who matter to get them to help address this particular matter. Now you hear the Coalition Against Galamsey calling for the sack of MMDCEs and police commanders in whose district and municipalities this illegal mining menace still exists. Because according to the coalition, that was one of the KPIs that the president gave them when they were appointed. So if that is your KPI and this is still continuing to the extent that some 8 Ghanaians have lost their lives because of that, then they say these MMDCs must lose their jobs, including the transfer of police commanders who are in this district where Galamsey is endemic. Now, you've heard this morning that a chief had to call on the police to arrest some people who were engaged in illegal mining. We also understand that in the western region, a chief is also, doing his bit to fight Galamsey to the extent that there was an event where the lands minister was invited to sound a caution to people in the area that no one is ready to countenance the people there engaging in illegal mining. But let me again bring you that particular call to action by the coalition of Ghanaians against illegal mining. But let me go on the phone lines now and bring in Nana Tanwe Mieza, the Sith, who's chief of Assembly in the Western region. We understand he is also doing his bit to fight Galamsey. Nana, I mean, what is it that you're doing in your community to ensure that Galamsey does not fester in the area?
Well, when we talk of mining, it's a broader picture than just Galamsey. Mining can be metallic or non-metallic. Mining can be oil and gas. Mining can be quarry kind of mining. So basically, we are looking at whatever we are trying to do must be sustainable. When you talk about sustainability, we are looking at the environmental protection aspect of mining. We are looking at biodiversity, protection of different shades of life. We are looking at climate change issues. So we are talking about mining that has to be sustainable. Sustainability also talks about mining is about social concerns and social rights and human rights issues. Okay, so if mining, we are doing mining in such a way that we are abusing human rights, it's a problem. Mining should also socially look at health and safety issues. So whenever there's health and safety issues involved, we are looking at social aspect of mining. Now, community development. So in all this that we're talking about, are we looking at community development? Are we looking at health and safety issues? Is Galamsey giving us this consent? Mining should be economically viable. What we are doing with Galamsey, is it economically viable? I mean, that's the question that we're asking. Economically, mining should protect the environment. What we are doing with Galamsey, is it protecting the environment?
So what actions are you taking in your locality that other chiefs can emulate?
Sustainable mining ecosystem. That's the first aspect. Okay. The educational aspect of mining is critical for everybody, right? That the people that are involved must be informed that you can do mining, but you don't have to destroy the environment. That's the critical line. Mining as economic activity can go on, but you don't have to destroy the environment. And that's the educational aspect of it. Then the next aspect is that if leadership is asking the youth to get out of Galamsey, leadership must provide an alternative. That is another kind of job situation, okay, alternative livelihood. So we are saying that leadership must provide alternative livelihood to cause this youth to get out of Galamsey. So when you say stop Galamsey, you must also say start something else. We must look at this mining concept from a very holistic point of view. You cannot be shouting that stop Galamsey, and you're not providing alternative for the youth as to what they will do. So in this model that we're looking at capacity building activities. We're looking at what do we do about this teeming youth that leave school and do nothing but go into the field to destroy the environment. Okay? So we are engaging government also in the area of alternative livelihood. Okay. We are engaging the local assembly, the DCs, the DCs, who are the government representatives at the district level. Okay, we are engaging the security system, and we are engaging we ourselves as chiefs. What are we doing?
So Nana,
to people to mine. Then, when the land is degraded, and the land has to be, we have to plant more trees, the chief doesn't have the right to own that land again. Okay? So these are paradigm shift issues that we are pushing. If you're a chief, which I am one of them, if I give my land to you to mess it up in the area of Galamsey, then when Forestry Commission or the government comes to reclaim the land, then we must share that land. It will be separable. A portion goes to the chief, a portion goes to the people who are claiming, and a portion goes to the government. We have to have some deterrent measures that will have giving your land just to be used to mess. Okay. So, I mean, if you want to talk about what are the chiefs doing or what are we doing,
that's what you're doing.
It's a holistic approach to solving this issue.
Okay. I'm grateful to you for that proposal that if a chief gives land for it to be messed up by Galamseyers, he doesn't need to own the land again after it has been rehabilitated. I'm grateful to you. Let me bring in Isaac Yoson. He is DCE for Chifo Etimokwa in the Central Region. I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining. Now, why are you finding it difficult to deal with Galamsey in your district?
Thank you very much. As you said, my name is Isaac Yoson, District Chief Executive for Chifo Etimokwa District. We are finding it difficult to fight Galamsey because, please, boys, before the Chinese came to Ghana, purposely to mine in our forests on the water bodies, Ghanaians never knew of the Chamfan machine. Ghanaians were doing Galamsey all right, but they were not doing it on the water bodies. Right now, the Chinese have been able to bring in Chamfan machines, which enables our youth to use it to mine in our water bodies. So what I'm saying is that let the government, which I'm part of it, through the Minister of Land, let him send some allies to the Parliament, so Parliament can pass a law to ban the importation of Chamfan machine. Please do know that the Chamfan machine can never be repaired. Without the Chamfan machine, we will never get the youth on the water bodies to mine. So we are finding it difficult because today you go to the river banks to drive the youth away. Sometimes where you go, because you don't have the equipment, you don't have the canoe, you don't have the life jacket, these youth will be on the water bodies. They will ask you, DC, if you know how to swim, come. So how can a DC who doesn't know how to swim go to the water bodies and arrest those people with the police service, with the Ghana police?
But why not provide the resources? For example, if you don't know how to swim, you will get people in your community who know how to swim that you can draft into a certain team that will fight against Galamsey. Again, if it has to do with canoe, you have the resources to purchase some to fight Galamsey, not so?
Yes. We've tried our best using the local boys to arrest those people. But I do know something. After you've used the local boys to drive them away or arrest them, because they know them, they will go back to their various households to threaten them. Those who will be able to run away, because they know those boys are around, they will go back to their various houses to threaten those people.
So
next time, will you, if their family tries to go for them again, will they come?
So you're saying that the Blue Guards, they are part of the Blue Water Guards, right?
No, these are local guys. A decision which we take during a dissect meeting, that we should get local guys who can swim. So I'm urging the minister, this marine police, we want some of them on the river front.
But don't you have some of the Blue Water Guards that they recently?
Please, no.
You don't. Okay. So you are saying that your situation is hopeless?
My situation is what?
Hopeless? Because you don't have what it takes to fight
Not hopeless. We are doing our best.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going on radio to educate the youth, to educate the parents. Today, you allow your son to mine on the water bodies. Somebody who stays at Takrady or who stays along the river bank will go and fetch the water and drink. Maybe your family member will be one of them.
I'm sure you are aware the fight against Galamsey or not allowing Galamsey to persist in your area is one of your key performance indicators.
Yes, I know. I'm doing our best.
Is that what,
I just had an interview with the Onia TV rep.
But is that what you tell the president when he calls you for accountability, that I asked you to do this, you have not been able to do it? You tell him that because you don't have what it takes and that you are doing your best?
My suggestion to the president will be that the machine which helps the youth to mine on the water body is the Chamfan machine. So, Mr. President, I'm pleading with you. Let's do everything possible so that if the government can ban the importation of the Chamfan machine.
Would you agree?
And as I said, apart from this, we are also doing our best. People have been arrested. We are. Sometimes you get to the river bank and they will sometimes bring the Chamfan and the boat along the river bank. Then we burn. I have a lot of pictures on my phone.
But when the Galamseyers go to threaten the boys you are using to fight Galamsey, don't you allow the police to go after these Galamseyers for threatening these guys?
Yes, you go. So, several people have been arrested. We do that. When you go to Praso police station right now, we have a lot of pumping machine which has been seized. It is in the custody of the police, Ghana Police Service.
So you disagree with calls that you should be sacked for not being able to fight Galamsey because it's part of your KPI?
No, I disagree with those people. We are doing our best. We are putting certain things in place. Dissect in my district, we are doing our best.
Well,
as I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is that with that machine, boss, I will insist on it. If we are able to put ban on that machine, boss, we will never get anyone who will mind on the water body again.
But even if we put a ban on it, there are still some in your district, and the president who gave you the job set it as part of your KPI. I'm not sure if you go and tell him, until you ban it, I cannot fight it, he would agree with you and retain you. He will sack you.
Yes, I'm saying that I'm fighting them. I'm doing my best. As I said, we've burnt a lot of boats on the Pra River, which I have a lot of pictures. But what I'm saying is that the machine, what motivates these boys, this champagne machine, when it gets spoiled, boss, there's no way they can repair. So when we put a ban on it, when going forward, when it gets spoiled, definitely, because it is not coming to the country again, it will phase out.
Okay. But will you agree that you can use your resources to purchase some of these canoes so you chase the Galamsey?
Yes, I agree with you. And we've been doing that.
Okay, I'm grateful, but do stay with me. Let me bring in Pakwesi Shandorf. He is Media Relations Officer, Land and Natural Resources. Pakwesi, so, you heard earlier that in the people we spoke to on PM Express, they were calling for a different form of this responsible community mining, or cooperative mining you wanted to do. The question is, how different is that from community mining that we are used to? Such that people can have trust in it, that this will indeed help deal with Galamsey.
All right, Bruce, good evening. And before anything, it's important to put on record that this Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources have actually been devastated by class 2 incidents. Needless to say, the sector.
No, Pakwesi, I'm losing you. I don't know where you are, but if you can speak up for me.
The reality is that the 8 fallen heroes were on their way to the launch of the Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program when they were touched by the icy hands of death. But the tears we share and the grief that we hold now must count for something. And what it is counting for as of now is the redefinition of the entire scope of community mining. So straight to your question, the community mining that we have had, the scheme that we had as rolled out in July 2019, was more of an elitist capture, so to speak, because the mining activities in the communities, though they had been characterized as community mining, did not involve the local folks. You had situations where people would sit in Accra, they would process and acquire the licenses, they would move into the communities, and then they would begin the excavation and the mining process themselves without the indulgence and the participation of the local folks. What we are doing now is that, and indeed, as I speak to you, we have located about 15 to some 20 cooperative mining sites, and the conversations are ongoing. The latest approach in town is that when a community is located in that particular respect, the acquisition of the license and the entire process of excavation and everything around the activity and venture of mining would be done by the community folks themselves, supervised by the local authorities. So that way, it is community-led, it is community-driven.
But Pakwesi, from what hold on. I'm saying that from what I know, what you're explaining was the same system, that local people would acquire the permit and then they use their own people to do the mining. So how different is it?
We do not think that they themselves want to pollute their own water bodies and devastate their own lands.
Pakwesi Shandorf, can you hear me?
Folks to actually lead the front. You take away the possibility of a distraction, because at the end of the day, clearly they cannot destroy their own backyards. And the conversation is ongoing. The program is due to take off. And in addition to that, we need to also add that the fight against illegal mining henceforth is going to take a more aggressive approach, because, like has been rightly indicated already, the incident has really touched the pulse of the government. The President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is affected. The sector minister himself has felt the brunt. And so from today, we can expect a more aggressive and combative approach to the fight against illegal mining.
Can you hear me now, Pakwesi? Hello, Shandov, can you hear me? Okay, it looks like Shandov cannot hear me. Shandov,
I can hear you.
Okay.
Hear you.
Now, if you say aggressive, what do you mean aggressive?
Well, so prior to now, I think we have actually seen parts of the aggression already, in the sense that we had 9 forest reserves that were inhabited by illegal miners. All of them, through the efforts of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, have all been repossessed. That same level of aggression that led to the repossession is basically the same thing we are rolling it out. The same thing we are rolling out now. And so in the coming weeks, I may not be able to find the words to describe the essence of the aggression, but you see it in the results that will start choking. It's just a matter of time. And from next week, you see that whole comprehensive and revised approach to the fight against illegal mining.
Yeah, but so I wanted to understand what is going to be part of this aggression, so that we can all monitor to see what government is doing.
All the measures that we have rolled out and we have been implementing would basically be enhanced, so to speak. So, for example, already there is the NIMOS that is responsible for coordinating all the raids and swoops. Definitely, there is an intensification that is going to be done, and that conversation has already begun. When it comes to the prosecution of those who are involved, there is not going to be any slowed process again. In fact, basically, we are going to expedite the entire process. And then more importantly, to be very realistic, Brace, the reason illegal mining festers in a part of the world is that when you go to many of the mining communities, the justification is that they do not have an immediate size source of livelihood. They don't have jobs that they do. That is why our COMSDEP has even come into the picture in the first place. So now that we have provided, quote and unquote, an alternative, clearly we would now operate a no-nonsense tolerance for illegal mining in those communities again. Because if you have consistently been saying that you indulge because you don't have a means of livelihood, now we have provided a vehicle to cater for that. In fact, those who do not want to do mining, there are other aspects of the program like entrepreneurship, agriculture, skills development that could cater for their economic needs.
Okay, I'm grateful to you. Pakwesi Shandov is the Media Relations Officer of the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry. To you, Isaac Johnson, so, I mean, from the calamity or the tragedy that we've had, how would that influence the decision you take in the fight against Galamsey in your district now?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm asking that from the tragedy we've had, how has that influenced the fight that you're putting up against Galamsey in your community, in your district?
Are you talking about my senior brothers who died about...
Yes, that's it.
Okay. In fact, they were going to...
No, we know about that. I'm saying that how has that impacted your fight against Galamsey in your district?
Oh, we've not lost interest yet. We are going to fight.
Okay.
We are going after them. I'm happy with the interview we had with the PRO for Lands and Natural Resources.
Okay, all right.
In fact, with this one, I know the EPA, the Mineral Commission, and the Forest Commission, and officers from the District Assembly will be going there from time to time to monitor them.
I'm grateful to you. Isaac Yosin is DC Chief for Timokwa District. This has been Top Story brought to you by Telecel Connecting Energies, and also is brought to you by Shield Pension Trust into the future. With you up next is Newsnight.